It's Alex, your horror hound, and I saw Pinocchio Unstrung. And admittedly, I get very excited whenever these movies come about because one of the first movies my wife and I ever saw on a date was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And shockingly, she really enjoyed that. And then we both loved Blood and Honey too. And I was one of the earliest and loudest supporters of this whole thing. And then Peter Pan Blood and, or Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare came out, and I thought that was just so abysmally terrible. Um, I saw it with uh, one of my closest friends who is a gay man, and admittedly, if you've seen the Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare movie, there are elements of it that were extremely offensive. I love fucked up horror movies, as evidenced by the alligator poster and shit on my wall. I like that's a joke between my friend and I as well. We call them fucked up horror movies. Um, but I like movies that push limits and have gross shit in them. The Peter Pan one was just way too far and in poor taste, and especially whenever you think about what you're doing here, you're making like not the fact that it's something that initially started as something for children, so it's like gross and weird to make it as mean as mean spirited and gross as Peter Pan was, but also like as an adult that's watching them, I'm watching them to enjoy the silly campy aspects of them. I'm not expecting it to give me something on the level of The Ring or something on the level of House of a Thousand Corpses. I want something more in the middle. I want something like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is the exact tone I want from these movies, or Friday 13th Part 6, and with a little more extreme gore. Like, yeah, go Terrifier route almost, but the Terrifier movies I think are actually really infinitely better written. Anyways, in trying to establish like a continuity and a lore, is all I meant by that. Um, that's not a real fair comparison, but the gore wise and the way they have fun with the gore in Terrifier, I really think that they should be leaning into with this. I didn't feel that the Peter Pan one did that. I think the Bambi did it in some ways, and in other ways, it was like, and like, how are they not going to make the Bambi one like as melodramatic and sad as they did? I thought the ending of the Bambi one was great, but I wish it was more fun in between. And part of that is, they didn't really make a good deer animatronic or anything for that. The Peter Pan is just a Pennywise ripoff. Here, you have a real physical puppet for Pinocchio, and he looked great. I also like not only like did the puppet look great, I thought the design of Pinocchio was really fun. I thought that it was a perfect balance of something that would both be able to be like, believably made by an old man for his grandson to be a friend. It's not overly creepy, but it's just creepy enough that it really worked. And I think that the kills here are what really make this work, because and the writing. The Some of it is I wish it was a little sharper. I wish it was actually funny, but we saw it yesterday at a 1:15 showing. There was probably about 8 other people in the theater, and we all were laughing with the movie. We were all getting the jokes. Pinocchio dealing with learning about male anatomy. There are some really funny payoffs. Some of the best dick jokes I've ever heard in a horror movie, honestly, are the shit that comes out of Pinocchio's mouth in this. And like I am on Letterboxd. I'll drop that down below at Magnolia Fan, and I have a tag called Dead by Dick, and that just means people that got their dicks chopped off or killed in some way by their penis. And this has, oh my goodness, such a phenomenal entry to that catalog, and you'll know it when you see it. That I just was really pleasantly surprised to see all the cool and inventive ways that they had Pinocchio kill people that actually leaned into making a fun Pinocchio slasher movie, not just random kills because, Peter Pan's doing it. Like, this was such an improvement. And it is just so interesting that, like, some of them can be admittedly very like low quality. I'm not going to say low effort because I'm never going to judge a filmmaker for their effort. It's very hard to make movies. But like it feels such a vastly different like level of quality and effort compared to Peter Pan to this, or comparing Bambi the Reckoning to this. I really enjoy Blood and Honey too. I'm not going to shit on that movie to elevate this movie. I think that this movie is just as good as that movie, and it really disappointed me that those last two were not just like not my cup of tea, but they were like objectively like they were regressions in every way. They were not like moving forward. They weren't developing filmmaking skills and they weren't improving with a budget and success of previous movies. It felt like, oh no, is this thing going to flounder? And then this comes out and it's like, no, this this is really an improvement in every single field on a filmmaking level. The acting, not only do you get Richard Brake, obviously is the best actor to be in any of these movies, um, giving a very good performance. And you do get Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, voicing Jiminy Cricket, which I would admit is one of the worst parts of the movie, because he was all CGI mostly and really horrible, ugly CGI. And like, I like Jiminy Cricket saying bitch 1,000 times because it's Freddy Krueger, but like, I wish a little bit funnier stuff was written. There were great moments. The electricity kill, once again, you'll know it when you see it. Jiminy Cricket was great in that scene. But there were other times where I really wished that England was given some sharper, crisper dialogue to work with just because he can and he's great. And he did the most with what he could. I thought the kids were great. I thought that the main kid was good and his little friend was so funny. So funny. That kid had me cackling. Easily the best kid actors that they've had in any of these. Um, I thought that they were better characters than they've had in the other movies as well. I don't really. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't really know what they're gonna do with like Pinocchio as a story. Like, are they gonna have like I didn't know what it was gonna be, and I thought that the way that they did it was great. I thought that the actual story they came up with was actually the best script and story they've done for making any of these characters a horror movie. As much as I'd say I prefer Blood and Honey 2, it's still my favorite. This is the best overall idea and execution of that idea of taking these characters and making a horror version of it story wise. Pinocchio going and getting all the parts to make himself a real boy by killing people and taking it from them, and by killing people who are hurting his friend, is like a great application of that idea to a horror movie. So I had a really great time with this. I thought that the kills were just excellent. A standout golden chainsaw has to be the gym sequence, and that was really good, trashy, slashy, campy horror because it's like I'm pretty sure they're at a school and there's like a bunch of hot or like two hot teachers in the faculty gym. Like I was trying to make sense of that with my friends after watching it, and we were like, yeah, honestly, either that was at the dentist or at the school. I think it was at the school, and yeah, it was like two just really like hot blonde 20-year-olds, but it said faculty gym, so that would be like teach. Like it was just a really funny thing to be like, that's the type of stupid shit I want from horror movies. That stuff never actually bothers me. It makes the experience funner. It had me laughing. And the kill, the guy's kill, especially, is so excellent. I wish we got another shot of it, but I'm not going to complain. It was fantastic. The underwater sequence was hilariously bad CGI, but a really fun sequence, and I really enjoyed that one too. The TikTok model chick in the shower who okay, I'm gonna go into spoilers for the end of the video. Click off if you haven't seen it. Who gets her boyfriend's dick sewn onto her. It's so funny to me. That was just so fucking hilarious. I got such a kick out of all the wicked humor in this one. This one really had the perfect tone, style, campiness, everything that I want out of these movies. And I'm so excited to say I'm all the way back on board for the Pooniverse. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. Dying to get Pooniverse monsters assemble. And hey guys, my wife's my cinematographer. I just finished writing a script that I'm really happy with, hoping to try to get that made eventually. But I would love, I'm a horror indie filmmaker. I would love to make any one of these. I'd love to be in any of them. I would love to make the Cars one. I want to make a version where it's just, Lightning McQueen gets stuck in the town and starts killing them instead. That would be my pitch. And I got a ton more where that came from. Monsters Inc. You've never heard anything like it. So uh, I'm just happy to say I can't wait to see the next one of these. I have so much fun with them, and this one was such an improvement over the last couple, all the way back. And it was great to see Scott Chambers as Christopher Robin show up, even for just a scene. I gave them the reaction they wanted. I gasped. I grabbed my wife. I went, "That's Christopher Robin," as soon as he showed up. So I know I'm a proper fan of these things. Let me know what you thought down below. I hope you enjoyed Pinocchio Unstrung as much as I did. And, any other movie you saw this weekend. Her Private Hell was great. And I thought Motor City was a really interesting new action movie. So we've got fantastic movies at the cinemas right now. Let me know what you've been watching. Thank you for watching me today. God bless and have a great one.